Everyone in the underworld knows the name. The one-man apocalypse. The assassin who never missed. That's Gungnir, walking through the chaos like it's just another night on the job. The aftermath tells you everything. Bodies everywhere, windows blown out, and the only sound left is a few unlucky thugs screaming from inside as he moves through the building. Upstairs, the gang leaders freeze. They've heard the rumors for years, but seeing their men drop one by one makes it real. Gungnir didn't die. He's here, and he's coming for them. The gang leader can't wrap his head around it. The aura feels like Gungnir. The killing intent is the same, but something about the guy who walked in doesn't match the legend they all fear. Footsteps echo across the floor as someone steps over the fallen bodies without hesitation. Whoever this is, he's moving with the same cold confidence Gungnir was known for. Then the light hits his face, and the entire room freezes. It's not a monster from the underworld. It's a high school kid, and that only terrifies them more, because the pressure he brings in with him feels exactly like Gungnir. He counts them with a calm expression, like he's checking off a grocery list. 5 more to deal with before he can move on. The moment he steps inside, the remaining thugs panic and rush him with whatever weapons they can grab, yelling like they're trying to convince themselves they aren't terrified. He tightens his grip on his bag, completely unfazed. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't posture. He just lets out a quiet reminder that he doesn't have time for this. One thug pushes a gun to the kid's head, yelling like he finally found his confidence. But the kid doesn't even blink. He just says he doesn't want to be late for school, like this whole ambush is an inconvenience. Before the thug can finish talking, the kid moves. A single strike flashes out, the gun flies, and the guy's body folds like he never stood chance. The leader watches it happen, and his brain stops working for a second. Whatever he thought he was dealing with, this clearly isn't a normal teenager. He slips past another attacker, moves his body just enough, and the guy collapses behind him. He apologizes almost casually, like he's brushing off some minor delay. Then his eyes shift, cold, sharp, and glowing with that familiar killer instinct. Anyone who sees that look knows the fight is already over. The remaining thugs panic and fire wildly, yelling threats they don't even believe. They're already shaking because they can tell they're the ones who won't make it out of this room. He closes the distance in a heartbeat, driving a punch straight into the thug's jaw before the man even finishes pulling the trigger. From there, it's a blur. He weaves through the hail of gunfire, every strike landing with pinpoint precision. One by one, the shooters drop before they can even process what hit them. The last guy tries to swing a weapon over his head, screaming in desperation. All he can register is how impossibly fast the kid moved and how hopeless this final attempt really is. The last thug swings a blade down with everything he's got, hoping sheer power will make up for fear, but the kid drops low and slips under it like he saw it coming a mile away. Time almost seems to slow. The reflection of the blade flashes across the kid's eyes, and his focus sharpens even more. He's already reading the next move before it happens. While the thug is still committed to his swing, the kid appears behind him in a single smooth step. The thug doesn't even realize he's been outmaneuvered until the strike is already coming. The thug barely has time to register movement. All he sees is a fist coming at him faster than he can react. The hit connects with explosive force, launching him across the room. It's the kind of punch no ordinary kid should be able to throw. The last conscious thug slumps against the wall, trembling. He can't believe what he's watching. The speed, the power, everything lines up with one impossible conclusion. The last thug's mind flashes to a name whispered in fear across the underworld. Ragnil, the one monster no organization ever wanted to cross. The kid adjusts his uniform as the final body hits the floor. Calm, unbothered, like he just finished something routine, not a full-on massacre. His eyes glow again as he straightens his tie. He shuts down the thug's assumption with a quiet, absolute answer. Not Ragnil, not anyone else they're hoping for. This is something far worse for them. He picks up his bag again, his tone shifting as he starts to explain what really matters to him right now. Scenes from his new life flash through his mind. A warm family, friends who joke around with him, moments that feel simple, safe, and completely different from the blood-soaked world he came from. He reaches for the door, stepping out of that room filled with bodies without looking back. And with a quiet confidence, he says what he truly wants. He wants to keep this ordinary life. He wants to stay just a student. Because for the first time, he has something worth protecting. Everything cuts to white for a moment as the story snaps backward. Time rewinds, dragging us to the moment before everything fell apart. Gunfire erupts in every direction. It's a full-scale shootout, the kind of chaos only sparked by pure desperation and fear. The world is tearing itself apart through every possible trigger. Disease, ideologies, money, all of it spiraling into violence as fighters clash and bullets shred the air. As chaos spread and society cracked apart, there was still one name that made even the boldest gunman freeze. Someone the powerful whispered about with fear. That name belonged to the assassin who moved like a phantom, striking faster than anyone could react. The one the underworld called the Spear of God. He was the strongest, a blade in human form. An assassin whose presence alone meant the battle was already over. Guards rush through the mansion halls, trying to escort the chairman to safety as distant gunfire echoes behind them. The chairman storms forward in panic, demanding answers. This was supposed to be a simple situation, just two intruders, nothing more. Then the truth hits him like a punch to the chest. Every single one of his elite bodyguards has already been wiped out, and whoever did it is closing in fast. The chairman snaps, shouting at his remaining guards to shield him no matter what. Panic is taking over, and he's trying to cling to whatever protection he has left. But before he can even finish screaming his fears, a single shot cuts through the air. One guard drops instantly, collapsing right beside him. Blood splashes across the floor as the chairman falls back with his last defender now dead at his feet. Whoever's coming for him isn't giving him a second to breathe. The chairman flinches and looks up, eyes wide, unable to process how fast everything around him is falling apart. Down the hall, the assassin steps forward without rushing. He taunts the last standing guard, pointing out how pointless their weapons are now that their ammo's gone. He lifts one of the discarded guns, examining it like a cheap toy. With a calm voice, he tells the chairman he should reconsider the kind of firepower he equips his people with. The assassin finally says the chairman's name, cold and direct. Just hearing it makes Akaji's blood run cold. Akaji loses whatever control he had left and screams, scrambling for anything that might save him. His remaining men panic and unload their guns in the assassin's direction, firing wildly out of pure fear rather than strategy. Gunfire erupts again, a guard emptying his weapon in blind panic as the muzzle flash lights up the hall. But the assassin moves in an instant, slipping past the line of fire like he already memorized every bullet's path. His counterattack tears through the gunman. Each movement is precise and lethal, cutting down the guards before they even understand how he closed the distance. He carves through the hallway with brutal precision, dropping every guard in his path before they can even scream. Bodies hit the floor faster than the gunshots fade. One guard turns, stunned, realizing too late that something warm is running down his shoulder. He never even saw the strike that hit him. Another collapses moments later, his weapon slipping from his fingers as he tries and fails to understand how the assassin got behind him so quickly. Blood splashes across the walls as the last of the guards falls, leaving the chairman frozen in shock, unable to even finish his scream. And he sees it, the curved blade glinting under the lights, marked with the unmistakable twin crow emblem, a weapon only one assassin in the world ever carried. The realization hits him so hard it steals the air from his lungs. He stares up, trembling, unable to finish the question he never wanted to ask. The assassin confirms it without hesitation. He's Gungnir, and the moment the blade settles into his grip, it's obvious how naturally it belongs there. The chairman stumbles back through the blood-covered hall, trying to make sense of why someone like Gungnir would be here. The assassin shrugs it off, saying it doesn't matter. This is the price of everything Akaji has done. With panic taking over, the chairman throws himself to the floor and begs for mercy, desperate for even the smallest chance to survive. The chairman keeps begging, throwing away every ounce of pride he ever had. He promises anything, any deal, any favor, anything to stay alive. Before he can finish, a bullet tears straight through his hand. The shot didn't come from Gungnir. It came from someone else stepping into the hallway with a blazing aura. Gungnir pauses, staring at the newcomer. A single name leaves his mouth. Hate, clearly someone he didn't expect to see here. Hate flashes a grin, brushing off the chairman's begging like it's nothing. He makes it clear, letting this man go isn't an option. He casually explains why he's here. Word is the chairman stole some secret treasure from their old man, and now the entire organization is furious. The bloody clothes and the carefree smile make the warning even colder. The chairman's face goes pale. He can't understand how Hate knows that hidden detail, something almost no one else should be aware of. The chairman tries to laugh it off, pretending innocence and hoping Gungnir will back him up. It's desperate, and everyone in the room knows it. Gungnir shuts that hope down immediately. Their job wasn't to interrogate, negotiate, or judge. They were given one order: kill him. Hate shrugs with a grin as he unloads another shot, saying they just follow orders. Assassins don't need a reason, only a target. The room finally goes silent. The last body hits the floor, and one of the assassins stretches like he just finished a warm-up. And we're done. His partner calls out, annoyed. Hey, Hate. He walks past the mess of bodies, kicking a gun out of the way. Come on, at least let me finish off the boss. You already got all the fun. Hate doesn't bother answering. He just turns, ready to leave. Let's go. On the ground, the chairman's still barely alive, crawling in his own blood. His hand reaches forward in desperation. Right as Hate casually steps on something next to his head, a phone the chairman dropped when he fell. Hate looks down, expression calm but unreadable, like he's trying not to feel anything. His gaze drops to the phone lying in the blood, the chairman's body slumped beside it. The cracked screen shows a photo of the chairman carrying a little girl on his shoulders, both of them smiling like the world was perfect. Gungnir exhales, almost disappointed. So this is the last time. He turns away from the bodies without looking back. I'm retiring from this life. The scene shifts to a tall building under the moonlight, closing the chapter on his final mission. She keeps stirring the pot, talking to herself while the broth bubbles. She's fully in her own world, excited about the dish turning out right. She adds the final touch with a proud smile, already imagining her husband enjoying it. She glances toward the photo on the shelf, her expression softening as she thinks of Tuji. The warm mood lingers, completely unaware of what's coming next. A framed photo shows the family on a trip, smiling with their dog. She wonders out loud if he'll enjoy the meal she made. The dog suddenly starts barking, rushing toward the door like it senses someone coming home. Inside the car, someone is laughing to themselves, bragging that the job they just did was way too easy. Hate laughs behind the wheel like the whole mission was just a late-night joyride. He teases Toji, saying he didn't even look interested, even though he wiped out almost the entire security team by himself. Toji sits in the back seat, half-dressed, blood still drying on his skin. His title flashes in the narration. Great Will Lance number 001. Gungnir. He explains it calmly. He only pushed through because he made a deal with the old man. Finish this job, and he gets to retire. Toji's gaze turns distant. He thinks about how those men reacted earlier. The moment they figured out who he was, they froze. Pure fear. The kind only Gungnir could make them feel. Their terrified faces flicker through Toji's mind. The kind of fear only someone like him can pull out of people. His partner just laughs about it, saying that for an assassin, getting reactions like that is basically a badge of honor. That he goes on, reminding us how Great Will runs the entire underworld from the shadows. And at the top of that world, everyone knows the name they whisper the loudest, Gungnir, the strongest of them all. His partner jokes about how things are going to feel empty without Toji around, like he's losing the only person who could keep up with him. Toji gives a simple answer. He's tired, done with the blood, the tension, the constant chase. The city keeps moving around him, People crossing the street without a clue that the strongest assassin in the underworld is sitting right there, trying to step into a normal life. Toji finally admits it to himself. He's done living like a ghost in the underworld. Deep down, he just wants a life where he doesn't have to look over his shoulder every second. His friend laughs a little because he can see right through him. Toji changed the moment Mirai entered his world. The guy who never hesitated to pull the trigger suddenly found something worth protecting. Toji can't help but smile when he thinks of her. Mirai softened him in a way nothing else ever did. He wonders if she's at home cooking, like always, waiting for him. Toji hears Mirai's voice echo in his head, soft but full of warmth. She's smiling in the car with John on her lap, talking about their future like it's the most natural thing in the world. Toji remembers that moment at the park. Him messing around, Mirai laughing, and John running toward them like it's the happiest day he's ever had. The memory hits him harder than any mission ever has. Toji thinks back on the peace he felt with Mirai. Sitting with her and their dog, he finally understood what real comfort felt like. That warmth clashes with the memories of his brutal upbringing. Training, punishment, and violence were all he ever knew. He remembers the torture, the blood, the constant fight to survive. Compared to that life, Mirai's presence felt like a miracle he never expected. His friend leans back while driving, pointing out the obvious. For someone raised as a weapon, living normal sounds kinda impossible. Toji doesn't get bothered. He just unbuttons his shirt, like he's shedding the whole assassin life one layer at a time. He thinks about tonight. No missions, no blood, nothing. Just beef stew. His favorite. Made by Mirai. Toji steadies himself, holding the flowers like he's gearing up for the biggest fight of his life. He takes a deep breath and just blurts it out in his head. Today's the day. He's finally going to propose to Mirai. Cut to the building towering under the moonlight. The elevator dings. Toji heads up to the 30th floor, completely unaware of what's waiting for him. Toji steps out of the elevator, clutching the bouquet a little tighter. He takes a slow breath like he's trying to steady his whole life in one inhale. He repeats the line in his head like a vow. Starting today, he's done with all the killing, all the shadows. He's choosing normal. He thinks, almost like he's declaring it to the universe. He'll live like an ordinary man, and nothing's stopping him. Toji tries to calm his breathing, telling himself this shouldn't be harder than a mission. He rehearses the line in his head one last time. He reaches for the doorknob, but the second it turns, his expression snaps. Something's off. A heavy, metallic scent floods out from the gap. Blood, thick and unmistakable. Toji freezes. Mirai's smile flashes through his head, and that one memory hits him like a punch. No way. He already knows something's wrong. He slips into full instinct mode. Blade out, breathing sharp. He presses himself to the wall and moves in slow, ready to kill whoever's inside. This isn't a proposal anymore. It's survival. Her voice echoes in his mind. Let's live together, you, me, and John. The warmth she gave him clashes with the cold fear rising in his chest as the scene cuts to her driving earlier. And that's exactly when everything starts to go wrong. Mirai opens up while they're driving, admitting she never really knew what he did for work. She smiles gently, holding John close, and tells Toji she only ever wanted him to be happy. She reaches over and laces her fingers with his, asking him to stay by her side forever. Toji locks in. All that hesitation disappears. He's made up his mind. He's starting his life over with Mirai, no matter what it takes. He bursts into the apartment, calling for her. His voice echoes down the hallway, desperate and shaking. He freezes. Something's wrong. His expression drops as the shock hits him before anything else does. The moment he steps inside, his entire world collapses. Mirai and John are lying there, drenched in blood under the moonlight. Everything he dreamed about gone in seconds. His eyes widen. They don't even look human anymore. It's pure shock, pure terror, pure rage, all crashing together. She's not moving. Her skin is cold. Her hand is slipping out of his. And all he can do is stare, because his mind isn't accepting any of it. The blade clatters onto the floor, still stained with fresh blood. Toji stares at it like his brain refuses to accept what he's seeing. He drops to his knees beside Mirai, shaking, barely able to breathe. He keeps asking how this could have happened, like saying it out loud might rewind time. He leans forward, voice breaking, rage and grief mixing together. He blames the killer directly, shouting that Mirai was murdered. Hate steps fully into the room like he owns it, gun still aimed, his smile way too casual for the situation. He tells Tuji he should have never tried to walk away. He says Tuji was meant to stay in the underworld with them, not chase some normal life. Hate lowers his head a bit, almost disappointed, and says Tuji wasted his talent. He could have helped reshape the whole organization, but instead he chose love over power. Tuji freezes as Hayate's words echo in his head. Hearing that Mirai was killed because of him hits like a punch straight to the heart. Tears stream down Tuji's face. He looks completely shattered, staring up at Hate under the moonlight, unable to process the betrayal. Hate steps forward with that smug grin, gun still aimed. He tells Tuji that someone like him trying to be free was never going to happen. Odin would never allow it. Tuji gets hit clean in the chest. The impact throws him back as fresh blood bursts out. His expression twists between shock and heartbreak. His vision blurs with tears. He's trying to stay conscious, but all he can see is Mirai's face and the friend who betrayed him. Hate reloads with a bored look, almost disappointed, and tells him it's a pity. Not because Tuji's dying, but because he won't get to be his partner anymore. Tuji collapses beside Mirai, his body going cold as he watches the life spill out of both of them under the moonlight. He mutters to himself that Hate was right. He really thought he could escape this life. His breath rattles as he realizes how badly he miscalculated. Every step toward normal was just him pretending. He admits he was a fool. Blood pours from the wound as he looks at the blade beside him. He finally accepts the truth he kept running from. For someone like him, a normal life was never possible. Tuji's thoughts crack as the guilt hits him. He admits it to himself. He dragged Mirai into his nightmare. Their bodies lie side by side, blood mixing on the floor. Tuji can barely breathe as he stares at Mirai, crushed by what he brought into her life. His hand reaches out toward hers, trembling. With his last strength, he apologizes, whispering Mirai's name like it's the only thing keeping him alive. Tuji's barely conscious, blaming himself, and thinking he never should have dreamed of a normal life. Two silhouettes stand over him, casually asking if his body is still usable. One of them answers that the brain is intact, and Tuji realizes someone is interfering with his death. Everything fades into this weird blue void while voices shout over him. Someone yells to hurry and drag his body, but he's drifting, barely hanging on to reality. New voices cut through the haze. They're calling out to him, trying to wake him, but it's not anyone he knows. Not Mirai, not Hate. He realizes it's completely unfamiliar voices reaching for him. Whoever they are, this isn't the world he just died in. This is something else entirely. Tuji's eyes snap open. He's staring at an unfamiliar ceiling, completely stunned as the realization hits him. He jerks up from the hospital bed, gasping. The doctor and nurse both flinch, shocked by how fast he moved. Tuji grabs his face with a shaking hand, trying to steady his breathing. He can't wrap his head around it. He's alive. None of this makes sense. For a second, he wonders if he's still stuck in a nightmare or if this is some twisted dream. Kaido's stumbling out of bed, yelling for Hate and Mirai like he's still in the middle of that nightmare. He hits the floor hard, completely disoriented. The doctor tries to steady him, but Kaido freezes. Something feels off. He can't place where he is, and panic starts rising. His vision warps. His breathing spikes. All he can think about is getting up, getting out, and getting back to Mirai, as if she's still waiting for him. He freezes, eyes wide, because nothing around him makes sense anymore. That shock hits him so hard he can't even breathe. He looks at his reflection and finally realizes it. The face staring back isn't the one he lived with his whole life. It's someone completely different. The reflection finally clicks. He's not looking at Toji anymore. The person in the mirror is Kaido Fujiwara. The doctor runs through his medical results like it's all normal. Perfect recovery, no complications, nothing out of place, like Kaido's body was built new. As the doctor explains that his memories might come back soon, Kaido just sits there, silent. He's being told he's healthy, but the man inside this body isn't the one they think he is. He remembers it all, roses in hand, hope in his chest, and the plan to finally live a normal life. That was supposed to be the start of something new. But that same day turned into the worst moment of his life. The day he lost everything. His lover, his peace, even his reason to live. Toji was gunned down by the one person he called a friend. Hate. The betrayal, the pain, the confusion. It's all burned into his mind forever. When he opened his eyes again, everything had changed. The man who once lived as Toji, the assassin who died under the moonlight, was now inside the body of someone else. A young man named Kaido Fujiwara. He didn't understand how or why. But after piecing together everything from his time in the hospital, he managed to figure out a few unsettling things about this new life. 2 months before all this, the real Kaido Fujiwara, the original owner of this body, was just a regular high school kid heading home like any other day. But out of nowhere, tragedy struck, a hit and run that left him with a massive head injury and opened the door for Toji's soul to take over. After the accident, doctors performed a craniotomy, basically brain surgery to save his life. Kaido lay unconscious for a whole month until one day he woke up, but it wasn't Kaido anymore. It was Toji inside that body. Now, Toji can't shake off the feeling that something about that surgery wasn't normal. The doctor who performed it has mysteriously vanished, and that's the part that scares him most. As Toji thinks back to that night, something chills him, the faint voice he heard right before he blacked out. The brain is fine. Those words still echo in his head like a haunting memory. If that wasn't just a dream, then it means his brain, the assassin's brain, is now inside Kaido Fujiwara's body. Toji's mind replays that night, his lifeless body lying beside Mirai's. Both of them gone in an instant. He can't stop the thought from echoing. Why? Why did it end like that? His train of thought snaps as someone calls his new name, Kaido, pulling him back to reality. Kaido grips his head, fighting the storm of memories and guilt. Why was he the only one who survived? Why Mirai had to die? Before he can think further, the door bursts open. Someone rushes toward him. It's Kyoko Fujiwara, his mother in this new life, tears in her eyes as she thanks the heavens that her son is alive again. Kaido's dad, Taro Fujiwara, a cheerful manga artist, bursts with excitement. He's just happy his son made it out alive. Kyoko still looks worried, questioning if her son's really okay, but Kaido reassures her, trying to act normal despite the truth he's hiding. As they step outside, Taro laughs it off, saying getting back to normal life will help Kaido recover faster. If only they knew who's really inside that body. Kaido looks down at his hand. No, Toji's hand, trying to process the reality that this isn't the life he once knew. Right now, no one suspects anything. Everyone believes he's just Kaido Fujiwara, an ordinary kid. But Toji clenches his fist, determination burning in his eyes. If someone's behind this body swap, they'll show up eventually and he'll be ready. Toji makes up his mind. If he wants answers, he needs to play along. Putting on a bright smile, he acts perfectly natural. Yeah, I want to go home soon. Inside, though, he's anything but calm. As they arrive at Kaido's home, his parents greet him warmly. Toji stares at the house, realizing this is where his second life begins. Toji takes a quick look around and realizes something. This family isn't just normal middle class. The Fujiwaras are loaded. As they approach the house, Kyoko reassures him that his memory will come back with time. Taro laughs warmly, calling out, "Welcome home, Kaido." Inside his mind, Toji processes everything. A successful manga artist for a dad, a doctor's daughter for a mom, and just one son. He's landed in a comfortable life, but for how long? Kyoko tells him where his room is, all cheerful like a normal mom. Toji nods, pretending to be casual, even though he's still piecing things together. He opens the door cautiously, like stepping into someone else's life, because, well, that's exactly what he's doing. The room's tidy, simple, and quiet. Books line the shelves, and a faint scent of youth lingers in the air. Toji takes a deep breath. So, this is Kaido, Fujiwara's room. He scans the room. Everything's neat, organized, like it belongs to a normal kid, not an assassin's new body. Textbooks, manga, a computer. Nothing stands out. Yeah, this definitely looks like your average high schooler's room, he thinks. Then his mind drifts back to Kaido's parents. How genuine their smiles were. How often they visited him in the hospital. They truly cared for this boy. And now, he's living in their son's place. He watches Kaido's parents, realizing how genuinely they care. Their warmth, their smiles, it hits him. Kaido was truly loved. Then, an image of Mirai flashes in his mind. Her gentle smile, her words echoing softly. I just want Toji to be happy. Staring at Kaido's desk, photos, and the quiet peace of this life, he wonders, is this what Mirai meant by ordinary happiness? He looks over the family photos pinned neatly on the board. Smiling faces, happy moments frozen in time. His chest tightens. If possible, I don't want to make these people sad. Then one photo catches his eye. A camping trip, sunlight, tents, laughter. But something feels off. This photo, he focuses. It's Kaido and his parents. But there's someone else too, a woman with red hair, smiling brightly. Wait, this is supposed to be a family of 3. Then who's she? He looks determined now. The confusion's still there, but a plan's forming in his head. If I'm going to live as Kaido, I need to know everything about him. That night, under the calm glow of the full moon, his mind races. Who is Kaido, really? And who was that red-haired woman in the photo? Morning comes. The quiet's broken by the sound of the doorbell. Someone's here. A man in a suit nervously presses the intercom. Miss. His voice wavers slightly, like he's unsure if he should even be there. The door slides open, revealing a woman with long red hair. Her tone is calm, but sharp. What is it, Kawaii? Kawaii hesitates, scratching his neck. It's about Kaido. He was just discharged from the hospital yesterday. I thought maybe it's too soon to... He trails off, unsure how to finish the sentence. Something about this feels important. The red-haired girl storms through the gate like she owns the place. That brat Kaido and I have known each other forever. Don't butt in. Her voice echoes with confidence. Kaido's dad pops his head out, startled. Weiss. Then his face lights up as realization hits. I knew it. Yuzuha. Standing proudly in her school uniform. Yuzuha flashes a wide grin. It's been a while, mister, she says, cheerful and full of energy. Yuzuha grins, eyes sparkling. How's that Kaido doing? He got out of the hospital yesterday, right? Her tone's playful, but you can tell she's genuinely worried. Kaido's dad tries to answer, but Kaido himself peeks out awkwardly from behind him. Oh, Kaido is... He starts, then freezes. You're the one from the photo. Before he can even react, Yuzuha launches herself at him, wrapping him in a tight hug. Oh, thank goodness. I was so worried. Kaido, she says, laughing with relief, while Kaido looks completely overwhelmed. Kaido's mom watches with a warm smile as Yuzuha clings to Kaido. You two are as close as ever, she says fondly. Kaido just freezes awkwardly, trying to play along. Yeah. In his head, Kaido's putting the pieces together. That closeness and his parents' reaction. So, Yuzuha's Kaido's childhood friend. She's loud, energetic, and definitely a handful. Yuzuha beams. You're really okay now, right? All right. Then let's take my car to school today. Kaido forces a small smile. Thanks. He glances at the limo waiting outside and thinks, a limo escort? She's even wealthier than the Fujiwaras. As Kaido's dad hesitates, Yuzuha, Kaido still has amnesia, right? Yuzuha doesn't even blink. She shoves Kaido into the car and grins. I'll take care of him. She points dramatically toward Kaido's dad. Let's have a party tonight to celebrate Kaido's full recovery. Mister, make sure you finish your manuscript. Her energy is off the charts. Once the car drives off, Kaido's mom sighs with a small smile. I better get to work. Her husband just nods, defeated. Yeah. The scene cuts to a gloomy school rooftop under cloudy skies. The clock ticks past noon. A rough voice breaks the silence. Listen up, you guys. A blonde delinquent with a cigarette, Tetsu, leans forward, eyes sharp. That plan is finally happening tonight. His tone sends a chill through the air. His two underlings stare at him, stunned. "W8 Tetsu, are you serious?" One blurts. The other gulps. "Yuzaha's the daughter of that huge corporation's president, you know?" Tetsu narrows his eyes at the group, cigarette hanging from his lips. "You guys aren't getting scared now, right?" One of the boys stammers. "And no, but if we get caught." Tetsu kicks Akin aside with a sharp clang, cutting him off instantly. He turns back to them, voice low. "We already took money from them. Backing out isn't an option anymore." One of the nervous guys finally cracks, sweat dripping as he mutters why they can't back out. His voice shakes, because that's the kind of people they are, the vibe. Straight terror. Tetsu suddenly turns and looks out the window. His face shifts. Oh, speak of the devil. Down below, he spots something on the ground and freezes. Isn't that Yuzaha's? Whatever he's seeing clearly wasn't part of the plan. Up on a rooftop, one of the guys leans forward, squinting down at the gate. Who's that guy with Yuzaha? He's clearly trying to place the unfamiliar face walking beside her. Another dude steps closer to the fence, answering like it's common knowledge. "Tetsuya, that's Yuzuha's childhood friend. Some guy named Fujiwara. He's been out of school for months after that accident." Tetsu hears his name from below, tilts his head with a slow grin forming. "Fujiwara? Yeah, that smile is not friendly." Yuzaha waves and bounces off with a bright smile. "See you after school." Kaido nods back, trying to play it cool. Kaido watches her walk ahead, still processing everything. Yuzaha. He realizes she's way more attentive than he expected. As he trails behind her through the hallway, he thinks to himself, she's a surprisingly caring childhood friend. Is this what it feels like to have an older sister? The morning vibe is loud as Yuzaha chats with her friends like nothing unusual is happening. She's all smiles, totally in her element. Kaido steps into the classroom, taking everything in with wide eyes. For the first time ever, he's experiencing what a normal school day actually looks like. Kids talking, seats scraping, the whole deal. A classmate notices him right away. "Oh, Fujiwara, you're back from the hospital?" he says, surprised. Kaido, confused but playing along, asks where his seat even is. The nerdy classmate freezes up the moment someone steps behind Fujiwara. He turns pale instantly, letting out a terrified eek, like he already knows what's coming. Tetsuya and his gang surround Fujiwara from behind, grinning like they own the place. Tetsuya drops the line with fake authority. "There's no seat for you in here." Fujiwara just turns around, totally unbothered. Instead of getting scared, he casually asks, "Then where is it?" like he's asking for directions, not being threatened. A black screen. One line appears like a threat sent straight to your spine. "You're coming with us, Kaido Fujiwara." Yeah, that's never a good sign. Kaido blinks, totally lost. He looks around like someone just asked him to solve quantum physics. He's suddenly on the rooftop, surrounded by Tetsu's whole squad. Kaido's inner monologue is peak confusion. "We're outside? Did they drag me here? Is my desk out here somewhere?" Kaido walks with the guys, thinking everything's normal. They're grinning ear to ear, so he assumes they're just being friendly, helping him find his seat. But the vibe suddenly shifts. They close in on him, all creepy smiles and shady energy. Kaido freezes as the truth clicks. Wait, are these guys actually my enemies? One of the delinquents almost bursts out laughing at how clueless he is. Kaido still asks, dead serious, "So, where's my seat?" which just makes him lose it. One of the delinquents bursts out laughing, pointing at Kaido. "Tetsu, this dude's so scared he's gone stupid." Their whole group is having way too much fun. Tetsu steps forward, flicks his cigarette to the ground, and the mood shifts. His footsteps echo like he owns the whole rooftop. He stops in front of Kaido, smirking. "Listen up, Fujiwara. If you get on your knees and beg, we'll let you off with a couple of hits. That's your punishment for getting close to my Yuzaha." Kaido lifts his head slightly, repeating the words in disbelief. "My Yuzaha?" His voice is calm, but you can tell something inside him shifts. Tetsu smirks like he owns the whole rooftop. That's right. He leans in with that fake confidence. So stay away from her. If you ever get near Yuzuha again. The background turns blood red as Tetsu grips Kaido's shoulder, whispering with a twisted grin. I'll take Yuzuha and kill you. Kaido lowers his gaze, rain dripping down his hair. His voice is quiet but firm. So you're enemies after all. The air around him shifts, heavier than before. Tetsu leans in, confused and irritated. Kaido straightens up just a little. Sorry, but I don't want to hurt anyone with this body. His tone is calm, almost gentle, which only makes Tetsu more annoyed. A memory flickers, Yuzuha and Kaido smiling with his parents, posing for a warm family photo. Kaido's eyes soften. He's not fighting for pride. He's fighting to protect the people in that picture. Kaido tries to de-escalate, offering a peaceful deal. If you promise not to touch me, or Yuzuha, we can end this right now. He's calm, serious, not backing down. The delinquents explode instantly. What the hell are you saying? They take his words as disrespect, shouting like he just challenged their entire existence. Tetsu steps forward with a manic grin, eyes glowing with rage and excitement. I like your guts, Fujiwara. His face twists into something feral. In that case, we'll do this your way. Tetsu launches himself forward like a raging bull, yelling, I'll kill you, as his fist cuts through the air. The whole rooftop shakes from the impact he's about to deliver. But right before the punch lands, Kaido's eyes shift. Everything slows down. Raindrops hang midair. His expression turns weirdly calm, almost curious, like he just noticed something inside himself. A simple thought flashes across the screen. What's this? Yeah, something in Kaido just woke up, and it's about to change everything. Tetsu swings in with a massive telegraphed right hook. It's flashy, but every opening on his body is basically glowing neon. Kaido reads him instantly, wondering if the guy's actually trying to bait a counter. Before Tetsu's fist is even halfway through its arc, Kaido slips in and drives a punch straight into his gut. The impact explodes with force. One word crosses Kaido's mind, slow. Tetsu's entire body locks up as the pain hits. He staggers back, eyes bulging, screaming out, GH. The two goons freeze, eyes bulging. They just watch their leader get folded like laundry, and now panic is setting in fast. A simple line of text cuts through the moment. I see. Kaido's whole vibe shifts, quiet, calm, but way more serious. Kaido steps forward, fist tightening, expression sharpening. These guys are actually serious. He's done playing along. The real fight starts now. Kaido slips past Tetsu's swinging arm, planting a clean counter straight into his jaw. The blow snaps Tetsu's head back. Kaido's calm expression makes it even scarier. The scene widens. Kaido grabs Tetsu's arm and throws him over his shoulder like it's nothing. His movements are sharp, practiced, almost too smooth for a normal student. The normal world, momentum carries them both downward. Kaido slams Tetsu into the rooftop floor, water and wind scattering from the impact. Tetsu's eyes roll, completely overwhelmed. And Kaido, not even breathing hard. Kaido stands over Tetsuya, gripping him by the hair like it's nothing. The guy's face is wrecked, blood pouring down as he screams in panic. Kaido looks down at him with calm, almost bored eyes. Rain falls behind him. How peaceful and how weak. It's like he's comparing this fight to something way harsher he's lived through. Suddenly, Kaido, Yuzuha bursts onto the rooftop, eyes wide, sprinting toward the scene as she realizes just how bad things have gotten. Yuzuha's eyes widen, completely stunned. She wasn't ready for this level of chaos. Kaido stands straight, sunlight breaking through the clouds behind him like he just descended from heaven after a boss fight. The guys who attacked him, all knocked out on the floor. Yuzuha steps into the rooftop, speechless, staring at Kaido, standing calmly in the middle of a battlefield he created in minutes. Yuzuha stands frozen, staring at him with wide, teary eyes. Her voice slips out in a shaky whisper. Are you Kaido? Kaido looks back at her, calm and almost gentle despite the bruises and blood on his uniform.